Digestion begins in the oral cavity with the teeth and tongue. Lingual lipase starts digesting lipids even before they leave the oral cavity. The food is then formed into a bolus retraction that then forces the bolus into the orphanix and the movement. Next is the liver that sits on the right side of the belly. It's rubbery and protected by the rib cage. It contains two large sections known as the right and left lobes. The gallbladder sits under the liver along with the intestines and pancreas. The liver's main job is to filter the blood that is coming from the digestive tract. It also detoxifies chemicals and metabolizes drugs that enter the body. Together, these organs work to absorb, process. The stomach is an organ between the esophagus and the small intestines. It is a muscular organ on the left side of the abdomen. It has three tasks: to store, mix, and send food into the small intestine. As the food reaches the end of the esophagus, it enters a muscular valve called the lower esophageal sphincter. The stomach secretes enzymes and acids to digest the food. Rugae, which are ridges of muscle tissue, line the stomach. The muscles contract periodically, churning food to begin digestion. The pyloric sphincter is also a muscular valve that opens to allow food to pass from the stomach to the small intestine.
The small intestines is the longest part of the digestive system, about 25 feet long. It connects the stomach to the large intestines, and it folds many times to fit inside your abdomen. The small intestine does most of the digesting of the foods we eat. It is broken down into three sections. The section is the duodenum. It gets its name from the Latin 12 fingers breadth long. In all actuality, it is about 10 inches long. The duodenum has few placi circularis, which are folds in the lining that make more surface area, and their villi are small. The primary function of the duodenum is to receive chyme from the stomach and neutralize its acids with digestive secretions from the pancreas and liver before it can damage the absorptive surfaces of the small intestines. Brunner's glands, which secrete mucus, are found in the duodenum. The jejunum is the middle portion of the small intestines. The name's origin is Middle English Latin, meaning empty or poor, so called because it is thought to be empty after death. It is about 8 feet in length. The jejunum has numerous placi circularis and is lined with many villi that move nutrients, vitamins, and minerals from the intestines to the bloodstream, where they can be used by the entire body. It is supported in the peritoneal cavity by sheath. The ileum is the third and longest portion of the small intestines, measuring about 11.5 feet in length. It extends from the jejunum to the pouch-shaped cecum at the beginning of the large intestines. Its function is to mainly absorb vitamin B12s and bisalts. Only the ileum contain Peyer's patches. These are part of the lymph system, and they establish their importance as in the small intestines as some of the diseases associated with the small intestines are Crohn's disease. It is an inflammatory bowel disease causing diarrhea, weight loss, and fever. Celiac disease is an immune disease in which people can't eat gluten because it will damage their small intestines. Symptoms may occur differently in all people, including diarrhea, abdominal pain, to irritability, and depression. Celiac disease is genetic and often missed.
The large intestine is about 1.5 meters long and consists of the cecum, appendix, colon, and rectum, which are distributed in the abdominal cavity. The large intestine is the part of the digestive system where waste products from the food you eat are collected and processed into feces. The major function of the large intestine is to absorb water from the remaining indigestible food matter and transmit the useless waste material from the body. The large intestine also absorbs certain vitamins and stores waste before it is eliminated. The cecum is the pouch-like portion of the large intestine. It is located in the lower right side of a person's torso and marks the intersection of the large intestine, small intestine, and appendix. This pouch's main function is to assist in the digestion of plant-based foods. The colon is the part of the large intestine between the cecum and the rectum. It consists of 4 sections: the ascending colon, the transverse colon, the descending colon, and the sigmoid colon. The ascending colon travels up the right side of the abdomen, the transverse colon runs across the abdomen, the descending colon travels down the left abdomen, and the sigmoid colon is a short curving of the colon just before the rectum. The colon removes water, salt, and some nutrients, forming stool. Explaining the functions in depth. Absorbing water. Completing the process of digestion that largely takes place in the small intestine. It takes nearly 24 to 30 hours to complete the digestive process. Further digestion or breakdown of nutrients does not take place here, but it helps by absorbing water and making the stool solid. Absorbing vitamins. The large intestine also helps in absorption of vitamins made by bacteria that normally live in the large intestine. These are friendly bacteria called commensal bacteria, which break down the undigested polysaccharides or fibers in diet into short-chain fatty acids. These can be absorbed by the large intestine by passive diffusion. The bacteria also produce gas, which is a mixture of nitrogen and carbon dioxide with small amounts of gases, hydrogen, methane, and hydrogen sulfide. These result from the bacterial fermentation of undigested. The rectum. The main function of the rectum is to act as a temporary storage site for fecal matter before it is eliminated from the body through the anal canal. The rectum holds the feces until you push it out of the body through the anal canal by having a bowel movement. When anything, gas or stool, comes into the rectum, sensors send a message to the brain. The brain then decides if the rectal contents can be released or not. If they can, the sphincters relax and the rectum contracts, disposing its contents. If the contents cannot be disposed, the sphincter contracts and the rectum accommodates so that the sensation The anus. The anus controls the expulsion of the feces. The flow of feces through the anus is controlled by the anal sphincter muscle. The internal and external sphincter muscles relax, allowing the feces to be passed by muscles and pulling the anus up over the exiting feces, thus resulting in the end of the digestive system.